14 here from Vegas. Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Las Vegas. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Buehler. And Aaron Lewis refuses to lose, Randy.
13-0.
He has not lost a single match for the duration of the entire weekend. He's 13-0. Now, that puts him in incredibly good position for top 8 here.
All
He's
he
playing
needs is a
against.
draw.
He needs a draw at any of the
All
legs
he needs
too.
is a draw.
Now, what about for Andrew Lozano, his opponent, who has an equally great record of 12, almost equally great record of 12-1? What's his situation here?
He needs a win and a draw.
Okay, so what about a loss?
Loss, he can cross his fingers and join the tiebreaker scrum. Indomitable Archangel.
So
that's a good one.
Great start here, especially considering that he's facing down nothing. Now that has changed here as Matt Rioters is coming out as
No
a
fourth land,
3-3 and no fourth land. That's huge for Aaron Lewis's deck. We watched him draft this thing. And he's 5 colors, and he goes big.
Mechanist for Andrew Lozano.
This is an Air Force that is going to be pretty tough to deal with here for Aaron Lewis if he doesn't find some of his removal spells. He's got some really nice late game spells that he can close out the game quite easily with. But right now, his life total is going to be under siege to the tune of 6 per turn. He also just missed his land drop again, Randy, though he did find a Nest Invader, so he is going to advance his mana count by 1 this turn anyway. But this is going to get out of hand very quickly. He's taking 6 this turn, and he's going to fall down to 10 life already. It is not going to take much to finish him off if he can't find some removal here. You can see his hand. He's got Skyreach Manta. There's an Artisan of Kozilek. That thing costs 9. He's got a Palaka Worm. That costs 7. He's got an All-Is Dust. That also costs 7. He's just drawn the kind of fat end of his curve here. And another Fairy Mechanist hits the battlefield.
Yeah, that one found a Mirror Enforcer.
Wow, Savage Twister, please. Well, it's a land, so Aaron Lewis has now got 5 mana available to him here, but it might just be too late. He's scheduled to take 8 damage in the air, dropping him down to a lowly 2. Though he can put up a blocker this turn. He can put up a 3-3 Skyreach Manta, which could potentially hold off the 2 Fairy Mechanists. Stem the bleeding a little bit here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is the Manta.
Okay. So Andrew can attack with the Indomitable Archangel to presumably get through for 4. He can attack with everything to get through for 6, but it's not a long-term plan that's too amazing here. The Mechanist, one of the Mechanists would get gobbled up. Now, he might have follow-up plays that make that better, though. Let's see what he's got. Uh-oh. Okay. Glenhawk Idol. Nice. Oh, that's... He does have Dispatch in his hand.
Also
he
has
doesn't
Arrest.
use it. He's going to use Arrest. And this one's just about in the books and quickly. Aaron finds that 5th mana, but we've seen enough here. A well-timed removal spell after some good flyers from Andrew Lozano, and that's game.
That was quick.
That was a quick one.
This pod gets weird too. If Aaron doesn't win, if Andrew Lozano wins, there's going to be 3 people looking for a draw next round, and only 2 of them can be paired against each other.
That is not great for that one person that doesn't. Oh, they made it all that way and can't get the draw. But, you know, you came to play Magic. You got to do it if you're going to make the top 8. Now, Precursor Golem. Yeah, you got to play and win it, right?
Meanwhile, on Pod 2, things are much cleaner. Easton Henry and Pascal Maynard are playing on Pod 2. The winner of this will be paired against the King of the Hill next round, where both players will be 13-1. Pod 2, super clean. Exactly 8 players came in on 11-1. Exactly 2 of them will be 13-1, shaking hands in the final round. So this is pretty much a win-and-in.
Okay, so this is a virtual win-and-in here for either Pascal Maynard or Easton Henry on the left. They both have much more focused decks. If you were joined us yesterday for the sealed action, you'll see that these decks are predominantly 2-color. There are 5-color decks in draft as well, but a lot more 2-color decks. And here comes Precursor Golem ×3 hitting the red zone here for Menard, and he's not done with that, it looks like. No, just these 3. Rune Servitor is going to block one of them. It looks like Easton is trying to find something here, as he wanted to get that draw off of the Rune Servitor. Menard, of course, gets one as well.
I just got sent a picture by Rusty down in the feature match area of Luis Scott Vargas casually casting Scatter the Seeds on turn 4 times.
What?
He cast 4 copies of Scatter the Seeds on the 4th turn. He won that game.
That's ridiculous.
May not be able to get him on camera. He's going to win too fast. I told you his deck was ridiculous.
That is absurd.
I told GCB his deck was ridiculous. Yeah, just casually 4 Scatter the Seeds on turn 4.
Well, as GCB's friend, I'm listening. That's unreal. Speaking of unreal, Pascal Maynard here is really chipping away at Easton Henry's both defense and offense here. He is going to arrest one of the threats, though, from Pascal. It looks like an Aquastrand Spider. All right, why don't we jump back over to our main match here, Randy?
Sure.
And that one went so quickly, I want to get a better look to see if we can see what's going on. It looks like this one's going quite quickly as well.
Homunculus trades with Gnarled Pack.
Yeah, Gnarled Pack trading off a fine trade for Aaron Lewis. He's very much the control player in this matchup. He's got the big, powerful late game, and it's absolutely in his best interest to trade creatures early and try to force this longer game. Andrew Lozano, on the other hand, is going to look to pile on as much damage as quickly as he possibly can. Rune Servitor on turn 3 is not an impressive play. At least it wakes up the Glinthawk Idol to get in for 2, though. Aaron looks like he's missing colors of mana here. He plays the Azorius Chancery, which is going to give him access to blue, return a forest to his hand, but he doesn't have red. Fairy Mechanist, another good draw here from Andrew Lozano. He's being able to curve out in a pretty decent way. I mean, the Rune Servitor on 3 isn't exactly great, but
finds the Aethercast Knight, gets in an attack with Glinthawk Idol.
And he's even going to trade off here.
Sure. And
Aaron can't trade fast enough, even though the Mecha Riders can get bigger later. Wow, he even drew a Sylvan Bounty, which he can use now. Wow, that was a great draw for him.
That worked out. It's crazy that this VP is so big. Aaron Lewis is 13-0 and has not actually clinched top 8 yet.
Unbelievable, right?
I mean, all he needs is a draw, but he's got no guarantee to get it. Like I said, if he loses this match to Andrew Lozano, there'll be 3 people on X1.
I can't even start talking about this.
None of whom will have played each other yet. It's literally up to the random vagaries of the pairing algorithm.
I just don't have it in me, Randy, to even think about that path right now for Aaron Lewis. So
the other 2 players in question, by the way, who are currently playing outside the feature match area are Ben Stark and Noah Sandler.
Wow, those are 2 of the better limited players that I know.
In the world.
Yeah, and also in the world. You know, Noah Sandler is a streamer. He streams on Magic Online pretty frequently, and he's very, very good at limited.
He's playing Ben Stark right now. The winner will be X1 and hoping to draw. The loser will be hoping to win and win on tiebreakers. Yeah, the 2 lost guys, they're not out of it. They're joining the lottery. A lottery that Luis Scott Vargas is also hoping to join. Luis on 2 losses with just deck sounds awesome. I want to get that deck on camera. Maybe we'll see him playing to get into the X2 next round.
I'm in.
I don't know. I don't want to write off Pierce Moffat yet. Pierce could come back and win 2 straight, right?
Oh, yeah. Especially post-sideboard. You know, a couple of shrivels or something like that can do a lot of work against a deck like that. All right, in the meantime, Fairy Mechanist crashes in there for 3 damage right past the World Heart Phoenix, thanks to the Aethercast Knights Exalted, and a follow-up play as well for Andrew, who's done a good job of using up his mana here. He plays a Rune Servitor after combat. This does mean, though, that he doesn't get to leave up the mana leak that he's got in his hand. He wanted to get that Aethercast Knight down because it keeps the damage flowing. It was really important for him to do that, but with only 1 blue source, like right here, you know, whatever's coming down, he may want a mana leak, and I'm not going to have that option. He's actually got 2 counter spells in his hand. He's got Stoic Rebuttal and Mana Leak.
Yeah, there's an Ever-Flowing Chalice.
Those are so. Oh, and he just drew a second island off the top, so now he actually has access to the Stoic Rebuttal as a stone hard counter here, which is great because since he is ahead on board here, not by a lot, but he is ahead, and as well as in the damage race, that means that he can sit back potentially here and just sit back on his counter spells. Look at that. Stoic Rebuttal is counter spell here.
And Mirror Enforcer's 3 mana.
Yeah, and he can hard counter here or mana leak. He can decide what he wants to do. And this is really good against what Aaron Lewis is doing because Aaron's deck plays huge spells. You can see right now he already has Palaka Worm in his hand. He can't cast it. He needs a 3rd green mana and an Artisan of Kozilek as well. Dragon Soul Knight, and maybe Tribal Flames? Is that what you're seeing down there, Randy? Okay. And only 1 red mana source. Yeah, his colored mana is very awkward this game.
Yeah, he's got 8 mana, but that's not 9, and it's not triple green.
And Aaron's going to use it to take out the Aethercast Knight now. He could have taken out the Mechanist, but he knows that the Glinthawk Idol will then just sort of replace it. So he's going to take out the Exalted Creature.
Interesting. Discipline from Andrew to not use his counterspell there. He knows that Aaron has more powerful threats coming.
Yeah, he also knows, well, I have this Glinthawk Idol, so I'll just...
Well, but without Exalted, it means he's now trading for the Phoenix rather than attacking through it. But
I think
whatever,
that's the play.
You've got a pair of 2/2s. You kind of want to attack with Mirror Enforcer anyway, so
yeah, Mirror Enforcer gets in. This is a 3/3 Matka Riders back there, so he's actually going to go for the double block on the 4/4 here, which does let 4 damage get through. And interesting.
Phoenix, not the ground creature.
Yeah, he's actually going to kill the Phoenix. You know, he's still a black mana away from being able to bring it back, and plus,
yeah, he's got flyers.
Super
Andrew's going to win this game in the air.
It's just if he lets him get the World Heart Phoenix back as a 4/4, those flyers look a lot worse, and he needs a black mana to do it.
Evolving Wilds comes to the play tapped.
Ugh.
That land coming to play tap means it's not the 3rd green, and it's not the 9th mana. And Andrew Lozano has the counterspell, so Aaron Lewis's undefeated run may end.
It is not looking good for Aaron Lewis right here.
I think Andrew Lozano has to be the guy who gets paired down, right? Don't Aaron and the winner of the other match have to play? Because Andrew and Aaron can't be paired.
Right.
No, but Andrew can be paired
now.
against the other guy. No, there's no forced pairing. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be 3 guys hoping to draw, and one of them's going to get paired down and have to play for it.
Okay, so here's 2/3 of your remaining life total, Aaron Lewis. Falling to these flyers, he needs to find something, and quickly. He's going to go get a forest with this Evolving Wilds, and it's not going to work. He's going to try to cast a Palaka Worm on his turn to get that big 7 life swing to put him back up to 9, and it's not going to happen. Yeah, I think Aaron's at 2 now.
Andrew Lozano from Kansas City.
There it is, Palaka Worm. Andrew's going to think about it for a second, but this is a no-brainer. Mana leak that, and that's going to do it. Aaron Lewis takes his first loss of the weekend. He's still in good shape for top 8, but the matchup in the next round could definitely matter here.
Yeah, he either needs to get a good pairing where he can draw, or he needs to win.
Now
or he needs to lose and then win the tiebreaker lottery.
Okay.
So 3 paths to the top 8 for Aaron Lewis. He's got options.
The doors are open.
But it's not guaranteed because that tiebreaker lottery is kind of random.
Yep. All right, back up on our other table here, we have Easton Henry sitting on 12-1 versus Pascal Maynard sitting on 12-1 as well. Both drafted 2 color decks here, blue-white artifacts for Easton. We saw that in the first game. With the Court Homunculus here, a nice start into a Glinthawk Idol. Really one of the best. And this is huge. Pascal Maynard just missed his 2nd land drop while Easton Henry goes 1, 2, 3 on him. This is not going to be – we might see Maynard scoop the turn after this next one. And you see how quickly Easton Henry's now shuffling his hand because he knows that this game is just about over. Right now – Easton Henry can pay 2 mana on his turn to attack for 7. That's half of Maynard's life total in 1 hit. And he doesn't even need to pay it here. Rune Servitor, activate my Chimeric Mass, attack for 7. You're at 7, Maynard, and there's not much you can do to get yourself out of this mess. So let's pick him up and get a game 3. He did find a 2nd forest, but it's not worth it. And the 1 land keep just couldn't get there for Maynard. He looks a little frustrated about it. You know, sometimes you keep those risky ones that if you the thinking is if I draw any land, right, maybe he has a rampant growth and then a nest invader and you can get your mana going and even get your colors. And that often can be reasonable, But it just so happens that Easton Henry had a blazing fast draw there. 2-2 on turn 1, 2-2 flyer on turn 2, and a 3-3 on turn 3. Yeah, you're not winning that one on a slow hand like that.
Did you hear Pascal Maynard's description of his deck?
No?
It says, I'm a vapor snag away from satisfaction. If my last draft was a 6, this is a 7.
That's very well put by him. I like that. We've all been one vapor snag away from satisfaction. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Pascal went 2-1 with the last deck. Wants to go 2-0-1 with this. Pretty clean in terms of clinching top 8 on pod 2. This is a win and in. His third game is for the right to draw into top 8.
And you're saying that these guys are going to get paired against somebody who can also draw with them?
Yeah, specifically they're going to get paired against the winner of Marcel Dizon and Lucas Ducos. So either Ducos or Dizon will win the King of the Hill match. I mean, look, an unintentional draw messes it up.
Sure.
But assuming there's a winner between Ducos and Dizon, they'll get paired against the winner of this, they'll shake hands and go into the top 8. Now, the losers of those matchups have to win and cross their fingers and join the tiebreaker lottery. I mean, I've got it at basically they're going to be 4 or 5 people above the scrum. And then they're going to be 3 or 4 spots for players on 13 and 2.
Okay. And there's going to be a lot more players at 13 and 2 than 3 or 4.
Yeah, like a dozen.
Yeah. Okay, so Court Homunculus, another perfect start here from Easton Henry. Menard has land drops this game, so that is not going to be an issue. Is there a turn 2 artifact? It's the exact same start as last time for Easton, and it's perfect. This is exactly what his deck wants to do on turns 1 and 2. He's going to try to punish Menard. Now, the good news for Pascal, though, is that he's the one who's on the play here, and he's going to have a little bit of mana to work with as he's going to have 3 mana available already here. Last game, didn't quite make it to the 3 mana nor the 2 mana. All right, well, this is not the start that Pascal wanted. Vigian Guildmage is not a powerful card in this scenario, and a Court Homunculus number 2 comes down, though I will note here that Easton did not want to trade his Court Homunculus for the Guildmage, so maybe I sold it a little short. If it's going to hold back a Court Homunculus, then that's good news for Pascal.
LSV still playing his match, by the way. Spider picks up an extra counter from the graft ability.
That's really important here. There's Raise the Alarm on end step, and the importance of that is that it's going to become a 3/3 reach if Pascal wants it to, and that means that the Glint Hawk Idol is able to attack, not able to attack through it. So this board is borderline stabilized for Menard, who's still at 16 life, and Henry needs a removal spell. He's got it. That's what Menard did not want to see here, because that leaves the Vigian Guildmage at a lowly 1/1 and means that the 2 Court Homunculi can now get in there along with the 2 tokens and the bird. So this is a huge play. You can see Pascal really thinking about his options here, but if that arrest resolves and sticks, this is a huge chunk of damage. 2, 4, 6, 8.
Henry can't attack quick enough.
He never can. We watched him a couple of times in the feature match area. And a repeal to kill a single soldier token and, of course, draw a card for Menard. He needs answers, and he needs them quickly because he's taking a big hit of damage here, 7 right now.
Does he have to trade for the token? I think he does.
Okay, make it 6, drop down to 10. Huge turn here for Pascal. If he wants to put himself in a spot to make this top 8, this turn is going to have to help him stabilize. And I think he can play a Mole Drifter for full price. Okay, now he's in business. He can even graft a counter over to it, and that's huge for him. Wow.
Suddenly there's a 3
I said he needed a big turn. He found it. Now
Make
it's back on
flyer
you.
and draw 2 cards?
Yeah,
Not bad.
unbelievable. Now it's back on Easton. And Easton, if he can find a removal spell or just a way to get that thing out of the way, can really keep the pressure on. And he can't, or can he? 4 mana, and he's going to play a Mirror Enforcer and maybe just pass a turn. No, he's getting in there. Easton Henry, full pedal to the metal at all times. We've seen him attack with all of his creatures basically every time he's had the opportunity to do
This
so.
does drop Pascal Maynard to 6. If Pascal doesn't do anything this turn, then he'll be forced to chump block Mirror Enforcer.
That's true, though.
Easton's out of gas, though. His last card in hand's a land.
That's right. And Menard had just drawn 2 cards when he already had 4 cards in hand.
Yeah, odds are.
And here we
he
go.
has a play.
Aether Snipe is going to pick up a counter from Graft and return the Mirror Enforcer. And Pascal has stabilized this board. How the heck is Easton going to get back on the map here? He's got him down to 6, but with blue-white, he just doesn't have a way to finish him off outside of, putting a bunch of creatures out. Yeah, he's got to pay 1 more for that.
Yeah, Mirror Enforcer comes back.
And now it looks like the world is Pascal Maynard's oyster here. He's got another land to hit, and he can pretty much do whatever he wants. I see he's got a Matka Rioters. He's got another Aether Snipe. How about he just runs that play right back again? That one can steal the last counter from the Spider. And you can see that Pascal knows that these next couple of turns are going to decide his fate here and possibly his top 8. He is taking his time. He's got plenty of mana and plenty of cards, and he just does not want to mis-sequence this.
Now, do you think Pascal's friend and fellow Canadian Alexander Hayne is pulling for his buddy or hoping to hold on to his Worlds invite from the Grand Prix Player of the Year standings?
That's an very interesting question because Hayne is a really nice guy. Genuinely,
Hayne's nice enough he'd be pulling for his buddy,
He could be. He could be.
It's probably like the ethical litmus test. Like half the people in the room would be pulling for their buddy and half the people would not.
I think Hayne would be. All right, here's the other.
I actually think most people in the room would be.
Yeah, I think so too. Our fellow Magic players are nice, most of them. There's an Aether Snipe to basically run back the turn from before, and Pascal figures, well, if it was good enough before, it'll be good enough this next turn, so I might as well get in with my 5/5 Aether Snipe and start getting that life total taken down because he doesn't want to give his opponent a chance to find some big bomb or a flyer or something like that that can actually interfere with the plans here. He does not attack with the Mole Drifter, though. A little too risky, so Mirror Enforcer for the 3rd time now has hit the battlefield.
It's another one in hand, right? Yeah. Easton has a second one that he
second Mirror Enforcer.
Second Mirror Enforcer. He hasn't been able to get it down. Oh, jeez. Cytoplast Rootkin.
Whoa.
Everybody picks up a second counter. Card's so great. That is the card you want when you're in Graft.
If he attacks with everything, it's a lethal attack here.
6, 12, 16.
Yeah. He's doing the math right now.
Cytoplast Rootkin. That is if the Graft lane is open, you get all the Cytoplast Rootkins that are open to the table. I mean, the other green guy might take the vanilla 4/4 for 4 eventually, but I mean, that's the key card that makes this archetype just nutso good. Spread out the counters, drop a Rootkin. All of a sudden your entire team is just bigger and permanently bigger.
It looks like Easton may have to trade off the Mirror Enforcer for one of these Aether Snipes by double blocking. He could take this hit here and go to 3. He's playing against a blue-green opponent that isn't likely to have a way to get any more damage in here.
Yeah, this is the point where Easton has to be thinking about what his outs are. Like, what are the cards he can top deck to get him out of this situation? Jeez, and a Kozilek's Predator.
I mean, I'm starting to think of cards like All Is Dust, I guess. I mean, we're talking about a very narrow subset of cards that actually get this game done for Easton Henry, or at least even just get him back into it, let alone win it for him.
Pascal Maynard almost didn't come to this tournament.
What?
His pro point situation is set up where he doesn't actually accomplish a whole lot unless he makes the finals. I mean, there's a Grand Prix Player of the Year race. He can, close the gap. But he's already got his Grand Prix cap. He's got 6 results that are at least 3 points. He can't get up in the gold or platinum because he's already capped on GPs. I mean, he can just make slow and stuff. So he basically needed to make the finals to actually have a meaningful impact on his Pro Point title.
Gosh, he may be on his way here, though.
Yeah, he might just pull it off. Now, it
was
turns out, his friends wanted to come, and playing Magic is fun, and spending the weekend in Las Vegas also fun. So he's here, but
yeah, it wasn't all downside for Pascal. So Easton had a nice turn there, though. He drew a Cathodian and played that. That let him play the Mirror Enforcer the same turn. And he's got a bunch of beef on the table here, but Pascal has gone wide and fairly tall here as well. He's really used that Cytoplast Rootkin well.
Jeez.
Oh my! Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Tezzeret's Gambit is going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counters.
Wow.
It's also going to draw him 2 cards, by the way.
Oh, by the way. But a Vapor Snag short of satisfaction.
Yeah.
This deck looks awesome.
This deck is completely going off. He's now...
Is that another Rootkin? Oh, my goodness.
It totally is. And Easton Henry can just shake his hand here. Pascal Menard hit
12.
He did.
12 +1/+1 counters on that turn.
In one turn.
To clinch top 8.
Unbelievable. Congratulations to Pascal Menard. He is 1 matchup plus draw away from making it in the top 8 of our GP here in Vegas. And Easton Henry, great run. He has to smile there. You can tell he's not happy about it, but he just says, yeah, what am I supposed to do against that?
Crazy.
Proliferate plus the old school proliferate on the Rootkin, and that gets the job done for Menard.
That's kind of crazy. Update, by the way, Luis Scott Vargas did win his match 2-0. If that had gone to 3, we would have moved them over to get them on camera, but Luis wasn't going to let it go to 3. That means this is also a win-in. So our Turbo Magic match, our King of the Hill match, Marcel Dizon, if he can hold on to King of the Hill, will get to draw next round with Pascal Maynard, but Lucas Duco would like to be the guy drawing there. Have you seen this blue-black value deck from Lucas Duco?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you're going to like this. It may go by a little fast, but
yeah. So I'm assuming that was a nameless inversion to kill the Blood Ogre there, though it's actually just slightly off camera in his graveyard, but that makes sense for what that would have been.
He has 3 copies of Dimir Guildmage.
3?
3. That's where we start. Nobody likes blue-black. Nobody thinks blue-black is a real deck. So Lucas Duco is just like, I'll take it all.
Hey, look, 2 of them.
I'll take all of it. He's got 2 Endrixars. He's just got, removal and proliferate and -1/-1 counters and value and value and value. That said, Marcel Dizon has
Oh, wow.
Nice
This is a nasty sequence here. Blades of Velasfell was trying to push in a bunch of extra damage, but Grim Affliction stopped that.
You discard. Now I'll attack. Oh, now there's an Air Servant, so game 1 goes to Lucas Duco. Pretty nice.
Wow, that looks pretty good there.
And Lucas,
a couple of well-timed removal spells from Lucas.
We talked about this the last time Lucas was on camera, but he was at Magic Online Championships a couple of weeks ago in Seattle, and he's the guy that Owen Turtenwald credits with teaching him how to be good at Magic.
He must be an excellent teacher.
True story.
Owen's number 4 in the world right now.
Yeah, old school Wisconsin player.
All right, let's see what kind of work Alloy Mirror is going to do in this game. You can see how aggressive Marcel's list is here. He's got the sort of double strike, the white-red double strike thing going, but he's also got a little bit of the old right there, the Bloodthirst from the Blood Ogre there. So he's able to pile on damage a few different ways here. But Lucas Duco looks like he is in the driver's seat here with Air Servant.
He can remove a lot of little creatures.
Restless Apparition, yeah.
Grim Affliction.
And he has worked that Alloy Mirror something fierce.
Sunlands takes down Air Servant.
Okay.
There's another one of those coming.
Lucas is 1 swamp away from being able to pump the Restless Apparition twice. Wow, another Air Servant just to immediately replace it. Now things are getting kind of interesting. There's a Kite Sail on that Blood Ogre. There's a pair of Double Strikers down on the ground. The Kite Sail may be a liability here, given that Lucas has an Air Servant on the battlefield, and now, that Blood Ogre, which couldn't have been tapped before, now can. Kind of cool. And there's another Alloy Mirror, and you see that Lucas has left up 3 mana to be able to tap down the Blood Ogre with the Kite Sail on it. Whatever the Kite Sail is on can now be tapped down. And that's it.
Lucas Duco.
Lucas Duco. He didn't have a great performance at the Magic Online Championship. He was pretty frustrated, and this is pretty nice to get it back. Welcome back to the booth here. All right, we're going to take just a very quick break here, but